I'm Charlie.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Firstborn.
I'm Secondborn.
And this is the
Flamingo family. Welcome to Men at Large by the Flamingo family.
Hello.
Hello, this is when Firstborn and I take over, and we're going to talk about all kinds of good manly things.
Yeah, and you hear in Flamingo Family all the time with us talking about paintball and skateboarding and all these other things.
Fishing, and more fishing, and more
yeah.
paintball, and more fishing, and more paintball.
Wanting to go hunting, fishing, all that stuff. So we figured we talk about it enough as it is. We should make our own thing.
We are going to make a little dedicated sideshow out of this. So this is like the side quest for the Flamingo family. And so it's just us guys this time. Mm-hmm. We left the girls behind. We'll see. They may come up with their own girl thing one of these days.
But they like bake and stuff.
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
But no, Men at Large is actually something that Firstborn and I have talked about for...
Since I was like 10.
Yeah, so it's been like 5 years. We've been sitting here talking about, gee, we should do like a YouTube show and stuff of all these things that we do of going fishing, playing paintball, doing other things. And we just never really got around to it. We
got close a couple of times to the point where we had our own
fixing cars
thing. Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
You know, and so that's what we're going to talk about. You know, our last episode we were talking about hobbies, and you and I got off on a lot of tangents on hobbies, and I went, you know what? We need to really dive into our adventurous hobbies and the crazy things that we do. We'll do a deep dive. We actually played paintball not 2 weekends ago, and we've got video of that. So we ultimately, there is a 1C Productions YouTube channel, and so we're going to put that together and put up some video of us playing paintball.
Actually, there is a Flamingo Family channel, I think, too.
Does the Flamingo Family? I thought
so.
It was all just through 1C Productions. I think it's a playlist on 1C Productions.
Oh, well, either way.
And so we're gonna have a good time here.
This podcast is brought to you by Coliseum Counsel. Coliseum Counsel is a multifaceted law firm with offices in Naples and Crestview, Florida. Whether it's probate, guardianship, civil litigation, or criminal, let Coliseum Counsel be your one-stop shop to meet all your legal needs. Contact us today to set up a free 30-minute consultation at 239-631-8160.
Yeah, we have, as he said, we have footage from last weekend where I accomplished a major, major goal. I've been playing paintball now for coming up on 6 years, and there's this one dude at the paintball field, and
Manuel.
He always gets me. He's like the one dude that I just like. I can't have an excuse for why he gets me. Like there's always an excuse. Like, oh man, they just snuck behind me.
No. There is an excuse.
What?
Manuel's background is the excuse. Manuel is from what we've been able to gather, we know he was in the Mexican military, and we believe he was in the special forces, Mexican special forces, hunting down drug cartels. So to say this gentleman is skilled in the arts of war is an understatement. He disappears into the forest. You don't see him.
Insanely well. He could be wearing, you know what? He could just be wearing bright hunter orange, and he'd still disappear.
And somehow he'd vanish. Yes, he does get hit every once in a while, but it's a rare day when you can get Manuel. Usually it takes ganging up on him to unload enough paint on the guy to finally hit him. Mm-hmm. So that was your momentous thing a couple of weeks ago.
And I finally got him. I came really close the last couple of times we played, where it's like I'd get behind him and I'd like freak out because I'm like, oh, that's Manuel, and then I'd start unloading into the bush,
and then he'd just turn around and one shot you.
Or he'd turn around and like see me and just look at me for a second and be like, oh, 3 shots and all 3 of them hit me in the same spot. Like,
yeah. So momentous thing. That was your This was your entrance into manhood, son. You got Manuel.
It's on camera, by the way.
We have the footage. He can't deny
it. With
two
cameras, because Dad already got shot out, so he was on the sidelines watching it.
Spectating.
So you can see what, like, you can see both sides because in one camera angle, I bet, because your GoPro has a wider angle than mine. And then on my GoPro, you can see the angle from my point of view. It's really funny. Like, I'm surprised I could even see him. When I looked on camera, it's like he was really like blended in, and then you can just kind of see his shadow run by, and I like put a rope in front of him. None of them hit him because of the bush, and then you just see another shadow, and then me putting another rope towards that area. But yeah, and you'll see on video, because this is the men at large thing, I've now learned that I need to get a cup.
You're hiding behind
that
the tree.
whole day. I was terrified because where like the first game I got out there and I was like, oh, it can't be that bad, and then I got shot in the butt. I think you got that one on camera. I forgot to turn my GoPro on, but
I did.
Manuel got me a couple games before that, and like he and I are just laying down paint at each other, trying to get the paint through the bushes. Finally, he gets a solid rope through and just starts to light me up. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I stand up, I get out, and I turn around to get out of the bush, and I get another rope go right up my back, and one hit me in the butt. It hurt so bad, and I yelled, "Oh, you hit me in the butt!"
And I heard on camera,
and I heard him just go and keep going, and I heard some other dude in the bush go.
Oh my, yeah, that was a good day.
It was a good day. Small group paintball.
Small group. We only had, what do we have, like 6 people?
Yeah, when Malachi was playing.
Oh yeah, when Malachi had to drop out because this thing. Yeah, so we only had 5 people. That was 3 on 2. It was basically young guns versus old men.
Yeah, I got to go out my dad.
Pretty much the old men. It was almost even, but we pretty well most games.
You guys, games you guys would hold the upper hand. Although the trench game.
That was tough.
So at our field, there is a trench, okay? And
it's like
figured out.
It's all. I mean, forget a trench. That's a drainage ditch.
Yeah,
full of stagnant, gross water.
But it's deep, so we call it a trench. It's a Florida trench, okay?
Yeah.
And we figured out we should just do a defend the trench thing. So the first game, I get in, to the trench with me and 2 other dudes. Was Malachi with us on that one?
No, the first game we were playing team deathmatch in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
We did 2 team deathmatches.
I got surrounded and eventually died, but it was cool.
You didn't die. You were tagged.
That makes it, honestly, that makes telling the story less fun. I got tagged. Oh, no.
It's tag at a distance.
Versus if you go, oh, I got shot.
There
that makes it sound way...
Okay.
Sure, I got shot. No, it's real fun when you have one dude flanking you, and you can hear him walking through the bush, but it's so thick that you can't see him. So, and there's no way that you can get paint through. So I can hear him walking by about 20 feet away through the bush. I'm like, well, guess I just have to wait for him to get to the clearing, and watching 2 other people in front of you just stand there, and you know you can't shoot them because of the bush. And it's like your what's that mission? There's a mission in one of the older Call of Duty games called All Gillied Up. Any gamers out there, you probably know this. Because even if you don't play the game, you know it because it's iconic. And they, in there, you're playing as Price, but when he was younger, and his commanding officer, or whoever it was, says like, let them pass. You don't have to take them out. So it's like, I totally had that moment of like, if there was a clear opening, I could have one-balled both of them. But I'm just sitting there watching. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to let them move into the clearing. And they never did. They needed to move about a foot to the right. I would have had them.
Oh, that's right. Because you started off those first 2 games. You were on Manuel and my team.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Manuel left, and then you just did. You know what? You disappear too. I don't know what it is with the full-grown adults and disappearing. Like, I'm the size of an adult, okay? I can't disappear into the woods. My dad over here, he doesn't even wear good okay. You don't even wear good camo, or you did that day. But you wore that vest is grandma's camo.
Digital camo.
It's the what do they call it? ACU or something?
Yeah, the Digicam. It's the gray, kind of grayish.
Doesn't blend into anything except your babushka's couch, grandma's couch.
But no, it's all about being one with the forest. Disappear.
No, no.
How a 6'6", 300-pound man disappears in the woods is beyond you, isn't it?
It doesn't make sense. You're also silent. Like, you go through the woods. I noticed it because I was going along with him. And I'm like watching my footsteps and everything. I'm like barely stepping on anything. And it's just crunch, crunch, crunch. And I look at him, big dude. He's not even
Size
looking at the
15
ground.
feet.
Yeah, not even looking at the ground. You just hear. You're just like, what? What? You just hear a little pitter patter.
I don't walk. I glide.
No. Dude, I can hear you coming down the hall at 1 a.m.
That's usually because I'm more bear-like than it's like.
He comes down the hallway and it's you hear Secondborn.
Well, but no, it's all about learning how to be one with the forest.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about a cup. I forgot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But then you start hiding behind, keeping your pelvis behind trees.
Yeah, and also when you know that you're about to get shot and you're just like you're laying down a rope at each other trying to get some through the bush. I mean, I'll admit to it. I was turning the lower half of my body away from the gunfire and turning the front half toward. Like when if you watch the video from my dad's point of view, you'll probably see it. It's like I'm turned backward with only my gun and my head turned towards Manuel because I know any minute I'm just gonna get a rope.
So we had a good time. I mean that was and that was our first time playing paintball
in a long time
since COVID because the field shut down.
Do you need a water?
No, I have my delicious cocktail here.
I have a big old water. I have a 50-ounce water.
But that was the first time we'd played since COVID because the field had shut down and just reopened, a couple of weeks ago. So, that was fun. It was a good time.
I missed it. I really missed it.
You know what? I did too. And I guess we're supposed to go again this weekend.
And now I want to get into tournament paintball. So if there's anyone in Southwest Florida that would like that has a paintball team, I'm open to talking.
Oh, you're a free agent?
Yeah. I've looked around and I can't find any teams that aren't like in Miami or
Orlando or Tampa or.
No, I only look in South Florida because I don't want to go all the way up there. But like, I can't find any teams that aren't in Miami, or aren't like D2.
Oh,
which if you don't know, how paintball divisions work, they go the lower the number, the lowest it goes I think is 6. So the lower the number, the higher the number, the lower the skill level.
Yeah.
So like I'd probably get put in. I'm not D6. I know that. I'm probably D5 or 4. Yeah. Like I'd be either second string on D4 or D5 solid.
Yeah, but and of course when you enter the tournaments, the higher the division, the higher the entry fee. So. Well,
yeah, because the higher the division, the more paint you shoot.
That too. But now, if you wanted to play, you'd probably you could probably play D5 to start for sure. See where you go from there. I mean, again, you're a big target.
Yeah, I'd play home or Dorito. Although I don't know, in some of the more recent semi-pro, what are those? In the NXL, there's some team that has a 6'9" snake player.
Yeah, but he's probably skinny as a rail too.
Yes and no. I mean, he's
probably
not thick.
Leans up against a tree and disappears.
No, he's not like super skinny. I mean,
that's a heck of a big guy to go diving through the snake.
He's probably about me in the stomach.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I still can't see you doing snake.
Oh, no. I have a lot of control over my body, but in order to do snake, you have to just be
one with the grass.
Yeah, you have to know. How do I say that? Like,
know where all parts
you have to be
very
comfortable in your own body. Like you have to be. I don't know how else to.
Well, you gotta be able to, because that snake bunker is only 18 inches, 18 inches high, 2 feet tall, something like that. It's not that big, so
about 2 feet tall.
If you're not flat on the ground scurrying behind it, you're gonna get, your pod pack or something's gonna get hit. So.
No, I think I'd end up. I could play I could play wings. I could play, lanes. I could play home and maybe Dorito, depending on the layout. Like if it's a very like big space between each Dorito, I couldn't do it. But
yeah, you are not that fast. Sorry.
no, I'm fast once I get going.
It's the getting going.
It's my
You're not
acceleration.
You're not
Look,
explosively fast.
I'm a big ol' like V8 diesel truck. Okay, it takes me a minute to get going, but once
gotta
I'm
rev
going, yeah.
Problem is slowing down then.
Oh yeah, that's why I would have to learn how to slide properly.
Oh
I can already see myself going and then sliding like into the net, like all the way past the Dorito.
Oh my. But yeah, no, it was fun to get back to it. I'm glad we're doing it, and we're gonna try and go hopefully every other week, and then we're looking for some of the other big events are starting. They're getting back going this year.
I want to go to the Tittman one. They're doing a Black Hawk Down one in March.
But it's in Texas, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how we would get there.
Plane.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
I mean, it can't be that expensive to get a plane just to Texas from
Yeah,
here.
I don't want to try and explain paintball gear to the TSA.
Oh, no, they know. No. Like, how do you think how do you think the pros get there? They don't drive from here to LA to do a tournament.
True.
They
have to
fly. Yeah, it's in checked.
Man, I guess you probably have to completely drain your air tanks so they don't
Yeah.
blow up.
Yeah, it's also... It's hard, but you can do it. It's not like they'll be like, no, you can't have a paintball gun in the cargo hold where no one can get to it.
Well, no, they'd let you put it in cargo hold, but the of
Tank
course,
has
if we
to
were
be
going to
degassed and everything.
do an event like that, I would need the 124 cubic inch.
How much
18.
is that, puppy?
It's like 225 or something.
You make that sound like it's just 225.
Well, I could go with
I just got a new
tanks.
tank. Mine was what, 125?
150.
Why don't you just get two of mine?
Because that's 300 versus.
Math.
I could.
MAATH.
Come on, I want something the size of a small scuba tank on my back when I go play paintball.
I don't know. Maybe some fields won't even let you do that because of the amount of air that takes. Like, think about
Why
it.
not?
Because they have to pay for the not electric. In the end, there's air that is
a
going
120.
in.
I mean, what was it? What did I say? It was a 124 cubic inch tank. That's like two of yours. Because yours is a 68. Actually, it's less than two of yours. Of course, to do this, I'd need really start doing events. The old Model 98, Custom Pro is not.
It's
custom,
a Tittman event, dude.
right? But,
It's run by Tittman. Most of the people there will be shooting Tittman guns. I won't be.
right. They'll probably be shooting A5s and
Yeah.
X7s.
No. They'll be shooting A5s, Cronuses, a lot of 98s, maybe a couple crossovers. And actually, they have some really good mag-fed guns now.
Right. Except isn't Tittman's owned by GI Sports, right?
Yeah, so they've
Which
got
also owns
GI,
Empire.
Yeah. So you might have a few axes.
You have
and
some
stuff. You're
axes.
fine, though.
I
It's
could
not
finally-
like you're going to have people shooting dye guns and stuff.
I could finally get my Defender.
I don't know if they'll even allow me to use a Planet Eclipse gun.
Yeah, they would. It may be a Tittman event, but they're just going to try and sell you on Tittman gear.
That's true.
Don't you want to trade in your racy speedball gun for our not racy whatever?
No, thank you. I don't want a mag-fed gun. Actually, you know what? That's not true. I would love to have a mag-fed gun just to play around with, but like...
Oh, no, there is a mag-fed gun I want.
Oh, that doesn't count.
The
that,
DAM?
No, that you'd call it mag-fed, but you throw the box rotor on it.
No, actually, I've already figured this out. I'd throw probably throw a standard loader on top, and then keep the magazine full of
That's
first
just
strikes.
unfair. Do you know how much first strikes cost?
Right, but you only use them for select purposes.
You know what? I'd love to see a barrel cam with you and first strikes your first time using them. I can just see it already. You're like, you're going to whisper under your breath. You're going to hear it. You're going to be like, oh, yeah.
baby.
And you're gonna hear the click so that it switches to the mag fed, and then you're gonna shoot, and it's gonna like, oh, no, you hear, ting. Oh, I missed. There goes $10.
Yeah, there's a $3 paintball right there.
Or, oh, sorry, ref.
Oh, no. Never shoot the ref.
On purpose.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've shot refs before, but they knew that it was coming, so.
That's because they're refs who were your friends.
Yeah. Where they're sitting in the middle of the field watching it, and we just kind of put one into their foot.
So we'll see what we can do the rest of the year about doing some events, going other places other than just our usual field.
I want to do Living Legends, the biggest paintball event in the world.
Right, except that's right at your birthday, isn't it?
Yep.
And it's in Chicago?
Yep.
And it's like really expensive?
Yep. But it's fun.
Okay.
The look he's giving me is
and
like,
there's nothing
I don't
like
know.
you and 2,000 of your closest friends all on the same paintball field at the same time.
I don't know, because of COVID, it'll probably be 1,000.
What are you doing?
Oh
Hello
my.
there.
We're having a men's only podcast here.
Are you saying no girls are allowed?
No girls allowed.
But girls are fabulous.
Girls are fabulous. We might start talking about
You're
girls at some point.
excluding
You
us?
never know.
Yep, and you can make one of your own that can exclude
It's
us.
a good thing we love you.
We do. Well, we love you too.
Okay, but people are going to need to tell us on our Insta or Facebook whether or not they like these boys only things.
The problem is we're going on tangents again.
Well, that's because
Well,
you're
you're
here.
I love you.
Hey, look, a
child.
squirrel.
We'll leave
No,
you to it. Have fun. Oh, what were you saying?
Nothing.
You're giving me a look. Is it full of energy even though it's late at night when you're recording this and you're both so tired and sleepy?
I'm so tired, and
Absolutely
I don't want to go
it's
to
full of
school
energy.
tomorrow. I have to go to school tomorrow, and I had a half day today.
That's so unfair. You got to fish.
No, it sucks that you have a half day, and then you have to go to school the next day.
I know. They should have
That's
done the
so
half
messed
day on
up.
Friday.
Be
That was
thankful
wrong.
for the half day you got off.
I don't think anyone's going to go to school tomorrow.
You are.
I
Dun, dun, dun.
I
Okay,
still
bye,
don't
boys.
think most
Love
people are
you.
going to go to school. Bye, I love you.
Take the dog with you.
El Doggo.
Because,
Actually,
you
that's
know, she's a
doggo.
girl, too.
Where's the
We're gonna
cat?
watch TV without you.
Okay. Watch TV without us. We love you. Okay, so we're trying to change gears now that we've had that lovely
Fishing.
interruption. So
I
yeah,
got
so
skunked.
that weekend. Well, no, let's. I'm
Oh.
going to go into back to that weekend with the paintball.
Okay.
We had a fabulous weekend because that was President's Day weekend. Mm-hmm. And so we then followed it up on Monday. Did we do anything Sunday? I think I had to
no,
work on Sunday.
we chilled.
Yeah, we
we
chilled out
we recuperated only to go on a fishing tournament
on an all-day fishing tournament.
that I placed second in.
Yes, you did with your humongous 20-inch snook. If anybody knows,
I've seen a bigger snook in our like river lake thing back here. So
yeah, it was so it was fun. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it was
we
super
had a
fun.
ball. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
our boat had 4 people on it. I think we probably had 10 dozen shrimp in the
Oh, at least
in the live well,
maybe 12 dozen.
and we went through all but like
Every
5 of them.
and the 5 of them were like
Itty bit. They were tiny.
Yeah.
you should not have even been sold.
I almost feel bad holding them in a live well. Like they should be growing right now.
But no, we had a ball. That was so much fun.
It was fun.
It was through your school fishing club, and yes, down here in Southwest Florida, the schools have fishing clubs. Some of them do.
Actually,
especially
both the schools that I wanted to go to for high school had fishing clubs. The one I'm at and the one that I was looking at switching to both have fishing clubs.
So fishing clubs, yes, they're a big thing down here. It's in high school, and you're actually the youngest guy in the fishing club.
Yeah,
Something about your generation. It's like they're your class. They just,
I don't like my age group. I just don't. Like my age group, number one, are wusses. Like if you ask them to play paintball, their first thing is, "Doesn't that hurt?" No, it doesn't. You want to know how much it hurts? Sure. I know. I flick them in the arm. That's how much it hurts. Well, that's not that bad. Exactly. Well, isn't it dirty? Yes,
Yes,
get over
dirty.
it.
Take a shower afterward. It's beautiful.
Like, get over it. It's fun.
And then they don't want to go. They don't want to go out in the sun. They just want to sit behind their computer screen.
Although I enjoy sitting behind my computer screen, depending on what I'm doing.
But you also enjoy getting out in the sun.
Yeah,
with a fishing rod in your hand. On
things
a boat.
have to be. Everything must be balanced.
Yes, you must balance your screen time with your outdoors in nature time.
There's probably that Thanos meme there with him balancing it and going everything in balance.
Oh, perhaps I hadn't even gone there.
I'm gonna do it.
But even recent, with COVID and everyone locking themselves up inside, there's been some recent research saying, okay, humans, you need to get outside. Mm-hmm. Just go outside in the fresh air and the sunshine for like 2 hours a day.
And people are still like, no, I don't want to.
I might get sick. No, you won't.
No, you won't. Actually, staying inside for extended periods of time can make you sick and make your immune system weaker because it's not being constantly, used. It's like a boat.
It's not getting exercise.
It's like a boat motor.
Got to use a boat motor too, or it'll end up getting corroded. So got to use your immune system, or it'll get weak. So we got out on the fishing tournament, and it was. I think. Let's see. We were fishing the things that were in. Scoreable for the tournament were
trout, snook, redfish, and flounder.
Redfish or flounder.
And flounder was the extra. If you catch one, congratulations.
The bonus fish. So there were, and among everybody in the tournament, it was a rough day.
Yeah, because our boat was one of 4 boats that caught anything.
Yeah,
and there were 10 boats in that whole thing.
Were there that many? I don't know.
Yeah, there were a couple
that started late. Groups.
There were some that started late. There were a few people that shore fished instead.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
one dude caught a giant jack, really big. Did you see that picture?
No.
Oh my! It was huge. I'm talking on me, from my belt to my shoulders. It may have been bigger. I'm motioning between my
between your shoulders.
My wing, not my wingspan. That's this. I'm
your shoulder span.
Yeah. But and it was huge, tall. It was.
Well, it was fun to catch, but
he said it gave him a 5-minute fight.
Wasn't scoreable, so. But the
I feel bad because
But it was there were three snook. Yours was the biggest of the snook.
Yeah, the next one
and one
was,
redfish.
Yeah, the next one was an 18. Then the next one down was a 17. So
and then somebody caught a 14 too, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
I think because the guys that won caught that 28-inch redfish,
which saved their day. That was it. Yeah. That was it.
28-inch redfish and a 14-inch snook.
The redfish saved them.
Okay, but yeah, and everybody there was a cold front coming in the next day, and so we just kind of figured out the fish had all kind of gone into hiding. They knew fish are smart, and we only ran aground 4 times. 6 times.
I think you mean 14.
Depends on your definition of running aground. If the boat is still moving.
No, I mean hitting the bottom.
And the engine goes.
Yeah, we all. Yeah, we joked about that on that because the fishing club meets on Wednesdays at lunch. So it's we're all joking about it, and my teacher is the one that runs it. And he goes, "How many times do you think we ran aground? 4?" I looked at him. I'm a little more. He's like, "Oh, probably 10." I'm like, "That's a little better."
Yeah, well, and I was frequently practically hanging over the end of the bow
as a ballast.
As ballast on the front to get the motor up out of the mud. And
either way, it was fun though.
We had a ball. You got to understand, down here in Southwest Florida, the water down here, especially you get out into the 10,000 islands. And that water is, even at high tide, it's clean and it's shallow.
Oh, yeah.
We're happy when
people come over from other coasts where
they don't understand.
They think that they have shallow water, and they get here, they're like, I'm going to run aground if I move. And you're like, no, you're not. You're just going to be 2 inches from the bottom. You're fine.
Yeah, when you have to get used to the fact that you might have less than 3 feet of water beneath the boat. You might have only a foot of water beneath the boat, but you're still moving, so you're good. And, and then... we had there was
and our weather is unpredictable.
The weather's unpredictable. The channels always move because storms come through and move the bottom around,
or idiots with really, really big boats that don't know how to use and carve their own channel.
Yeah, they go and plow their own channel out with their 1,200 horsepower.
Yeah,
and Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. You see, the shallower draft boats can get into the far back areas where some of the monsters hide.
You know, the kind of boats I like versus you, sir. This dude is scared of nothing except flats boats.
Flats boats, they terrify me because there's you're on the boat, not in the boat.
No, the only boat that terrifies me are bass boats. That's the one where I'm like, I'm riding a really powerful paddleboard.
Pretty much, yeah. But the flats boats aren't far behind.
Yes, they are. There's a rim.
When the gunnels of the boat are barely above my ankles, that scared. I just no, that does no. I don't do that.
Nah,
homie, don't play that.
Don't ever say that again.
White boy, don't play that.
No.
So
no. Just
no.
You should retract your statement right now. Do it. Retract your statement.
I retract
Good.
my statement.
There you go.
But no, like a bay boat, I could do. I enjoy bay boats. They're not quite as shallow. The flats boats can get into 8 inches, right? Or they plane out at
6.
At 6, they sit in 8 to 10 inches, and they plane out at 6. Yeah. So as long as you're going like a bat out of Hades, you can get into practically non-existent water. Of course, you slow down.
Hey guys, we're going skimboarding.
Yeah, that's about it. We're skimboarding over to that next bay. What happens if something comes out of the side there, another boat? Yep, we're plowing over them. That's it.
Over them? No, you're plowing. You're plowing under them. Everyone get below the non-existent gunnels. We're going under.
Lay down. Yeah, no, it's
dive.
Those boats, they scare me. And this is coming from the guy who sells boats, and I'll sell flats boats.
He goes on boats for a living, and he's scared of flats boats.
Scared of flats boats. Those things, no thank you. Skimboard with a motor.
Hey, boat owner. You know how valuable your time on the water is. Sea breezes and salty air settle your mind like nothing else, right? But are you in the boat you really want? If it's time to try something new, then it's time you met Charles Zeitz of Pop Yachts. Charles not only brings a buyer to your existing craft, he also listens to your heart's desire and finds you the boat of your dreams. Pop Yachts is the largest boat and yacht broker in all of North America. People come to them every day looking for a craft to buy or sell. Why not sell yours and get what you really want? Go to facebook.com/NaplesMarcoYachts to learn more and get in touch. That's facebook.com/NaplesMarcoYachts.
You know what? I have another manly thing that I just thought of that we should do.
What should we do?
I'm about to get my driver's license.
Oh, good Lord.
We should go off-roading.
Oh, no.
You could either get a new Jeep or I'll get a Jeep. We could work together.
Oh, you have a job, do you, to get a Jeep?
You know what? We're working on it.
Oh,
okay. You were there. We're working on it.
We are working on that, trying to get you a job. Just actually very hard because, teenage unemployment is through the roof in this country.
No one wants to hire us. Like, why would... I mean...
Because you all have a reputation for being lazy.
This is why I hate
and good for nothing.
My age group.
And
you know what? Everyone else screws it up for us.
And uncoachable. Remember, you told me you guys had a
thing
about being coachable at school.
I'm not.
You have.
I know people at the administration listen to the podcast, so I don't want to say anything about it. I won't go into detail. But let's just say it's not. It's bull. No. It didn't.
So you think you're coachable?
I think I am coachable, but their look at coachable is not true. They're looking at, compared to an average, in quotes, person, how coachable are you? I'm different.
Is there such a thing as an
I'm
average
just
person?
Built different, Like, I learned, and it even said in the description, people with this score often learn by doing. And I'm like, well, then why are you worried about me? I just learn differently.
Well, that's true. You are a doer, not a...
I mean, that's why I'm good at fishing
learner.
And paintballing and all these other things.
Physical pursuits.
Yeah, because the only way you can learn it is by doing it. You can't you can't read a book on how to do a push-up and instantly be able to do 100 push-ups. You have to learn it by doing it. So
True. Okay, I can see that.
Same with fishing. You're not gonna watch a video on how to skip a jig under a dock and then
Instantly
just go out and do it. Yeah, it's like you learn it by getting it hooked under the dock, losing some lures. By some, I mean probably about $100 in lures, but at least you learn.
Yes, we don't tell Mom how much we spend on fishing lures.
They're watching TV. They heard nothing.
Yes. But
We have our own fishing card, like debit card or credit card or whatever.
yeah, the fishing expenses go there.
We walk into Ace Hardware and I look at him and he looks back at me and goes, I can't do that. And we're not on video.
You're on audio.
You nod. We just kind of nod at each other. He pulls out his wallet and looks at the card and goes, yeah, it's one of those days. And we just go and buy like $80 worth of like lures and line and things that we probably will never use.
Although we were killing it the other day because you had won your $50.
Yeah.
He won. The big thing he won two things. And in the second place at the fishing tournament, he won $50 Ace gift card.
Down here we have a thing called Sunshine Ace Hardware, which has fishing gear and stuff.
Yep, fabulous tackle selection there. And so he won his $50, and we took his $50. We took another gift card that he found laying around his room. I had a bunch of rewards. We ended up, I think it was, and I was buying like charcoal and something else too. We had like, the bill was like $130, and by the time
and with
we used
rewards and gift cards, we paid like what?
$9.99.
$10.
$10. $9.99 was the bill after all the rewards and gift cards. It was great.
$130 to $10.
It was awesome.
That's with tax too.
We basically,
That's insane.
Essentially, we were paying the tax.
Yeah.
So
that's insane.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We went home, and when we told Mom that, she just kind of looked at us like, what?
Wow, you're mad.
How? With rewards and everything, that's how. And most of it was covered by gift cards.
Now, we got to talk about last weekend, it was last weekend. Where we went we did some fishing again last weekend from shore.
And I caught the biggest sheep's head I've ever seen.
He brought home the sheep's head.
In real life, yeah. First, okay, so...
We did have that one
little mangrove snapper that I also caught.
A little bit better than legal mangrove snapper.
Yeah, it was like 11 inch, and they have to be 10 inch in order to keep. But then we decided to go to this spot that's never failed us, but it's always like, if we can't catch anything everywhere or anywhere else, and we want to catch things, go there. So we head down there. There's not many people there, and
it's your first cast
shrimp I put under the dock within like 5 seconds. No, maybe 10 seconds. I just watching my rod to just dip, and I'm like, whoa! And I wasn't even looking like at. Like, I just felt it.
Yet.
Like I right? Like you expect it to take a minute for the fish to kind of feel it out and then take it. So it's like it goes, and of course the way sheep's head eat, at least the way I've seen them and how I've caught them, they don't nibble. They just look at it. They might take little nibbles to make sure it's real, and then take it.
Well, in sheep's head, for those who don't know the fish down here, sheep's head are. You see them hanging around docks and boats all the time because they like to eat barnacles. Barnacles, clams. They've got they've got these teeth that look like human teeth. They're kind of freaky.
Yeah. They've got teeth that look like human teeth, and then towards the back, they've got ones that are kind of like balls. Yeah, that are like half spheres that are more for, crunching down on barnacles and breaking them open and things.
Yeah, so they come up to the docks, to the pilings and all, and I'll hear them if I'm in the engine room of a boat. Right there by the hull, I'll just hear this crunch, 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 and it's kind of freaky until you realize, oh, it's the sheep's head up under the boat eating on.
That's when you wish
barnacles.
You had some live shrimp on board.
Yeah, I'm like, just chuck that under there. But they love shrimp, clams,
because shrimp are very
crunchy. They like clams.
When they're not skinned and cooked.
They like. I'm told they like sand fleas, but I got skunked.
I've been told that, but I think the ones down here don't like sand fleas as much, or maybe just in this area. Because every time I've used sand fleas, I've caught nothing with them. Yeah, but if you watch YouTube videos of people fishing in Key Largo or Key West,
they're catching pompano, they're catching all sorts of stuff
with sand fleas. And then you go north, same thing. You're catching everything on sand fleas. So I think it's just the ones down here, for whatever reason, just don't like them.
Well, it's unfortunate. But yeah, so we did a little experiment that day on Sunday. And we went to there's a new bait shop that we went to, and they had sand fleas. They had sand fleas and they had shrimp. And once the red tide is fully gone from here, they'll have some other options. But, and so I fished solely with sand fleas, and he fished solely with shrimp.
And I was just pulling out
He was just pulling
fish.
them out. I mean, I didn't
and
catch a thing.
our antagonist of that trip, the pelicans.
Oh, the pelicans. Oh, my gosh.
I almost lost that sheep's head to the pelicans because, of course, big fish. Like, what was that thing? 17 inch?
17 inches. It's too
so
big.
imagine if you can go ahead and Google what a sheep's head looks like, all one word. And imagine one that's 17 inches long. So big fish.
And
like
probably 4 pounds.
Maybe 5. He was
Maybe 5.
thick.
He's pretty thick. We got some good fillets off him.
yeah.
The head is really meaty.
Their head is, it also
heavy
has
duty.
a lot of, their head is very, what's that word that I'm looking for? Bony.
Dense. Bony.
No, yeah, it's got very thick skull. So it's like I'm pulling this fish out from the dock. I get off from under the dock, and the pelicans saw it. So they all swarm near my line waiting for me to pull this fish up so they can grab it. And I pull this thing up, and instantly one of them starts grabbing at it. Luckily, he didn't get hooked.
Yeah.
And
well, the
like
guy
they
down
were,
from us, though.
yeah, and they were jumping all over and stuff. And then finally, one of them let go for a second. I'm guessing to try and swallow the thing, and then I pulled it up because finally I was able to get my hand on my line, not on the rod, and pull it up. But
Yeah, there was a guy down from us who was running, 3 rods, I think, at a time?
2 or 3.
2 or 3 rods at a time. And, like,
Every fish.
They were on his fish. He hooked one pelican in the mouth, had to pull it up on the dock and get it unhooked and, put it, which is, it's not easy to do. I mean, the pelicans are big. People don't quite realize.
They have a good, probably 4-foot wingspan?
Oh, bigger than that. They're big birds. But I mean, really, he had to get another guy to like reach down to the water line, grab this pelican by the neck, pull it up onto the dock, reach down in its mouth, and unhook it.
Welcome to Florida, where we do that just we just
like
know
normal.
how to
I've
do
seen
it.
People do it a few times, and it's like, I mean, you just got to grab them. You just got to stick your.
You got to
hand
go
in their
full
mouth.
Florida man on that bird.
Yeah, you go full Florida. You just reach down in there, unhook it, and then you got to just chuck the bird somewhere, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, especially if they land back in the water, they naturally are buoyant. So just throw it back in the water. He'll be like, "Well, that sucked." And
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah,
And
and he hooked another one by the foot.
Yeah, well, he got another one, and I had a couple of them. They kept going from running down to where the fish was, and they kept like hitting my line. I kept thinking I was about to get him hooked, tangled up in my line. He got one. I don't know if it hooked it in the foot or if it just got tangled up. It was a little hard to tell.
He said he hooked it.
I was going down to help him, and it came off. So
I think he barely hooked him in the foot.
Oh,
was able
he
to get
was
some
mad.
slack in his.
He was so mad at those pelicans.
I mean, wouldn't you be?
And then when we're cleaning the fish, here it is, sundown. We're cleaning our fish.
Yeah, we're having to have one person watch the pelicans to make sure they don't sneak up and grab
jump
the
up
fish.
on the table. Yeah.
And then one person flaying out the fish. So, I was the one doing most of the watching the birds, and it's like they jump up on the dock from the water line, and then I'd run at them and growl at them. They'd be like, "Oh no, big human," and run back in the water.
And you were flaying out the snapper while
He
I
was so quiet.
and I'm like, we're just sitting there. I'm watching him, trying to, because Firstborn hasn't. I've typically done most of the fish filleting, and so I was kind of teaching him how to fillet out the fish. And all of a sudden, he looks behind me, he goes, "Dad, that pelican is like right behind." And no lie, that pelican was like about to bite me in the hind end. I think
I had one where he actually scared me because he was so quiet. I didn't even I just kind of had the sense of what's behind me, and I look behind me, and there's just a pelican. And I'm talking, I'm 6'3". My legs are probably 4 foot? No, not 4 foot. They're probably 3 feet.
2.5, 3 feet.
Yeah, off the ground. And this thing is above my belt line,
Looking up, going, "Hi."
Hey, don't you want to give me that? I'm like, no, whoa. And then I back up, and he got scared because I yelled. And
of course, people will feed the pelicans toss the carcasses to the pelicans, and so they
even though there's a giant sign that says "Do not feed the pelicans," put it down the trash pipe.
And there's a big pipe, that's
that
probably
feeds
8
underwater.
inch, 10 inch PVC pipe that drops down below the water, and you just
I wonder how many catfish live under there.
a lot.
I'm just. How many catfish do you think is swarmed? Like, how many do you think would have swarmed if we threw it on top? You would have had a all-out, like...
Would have been a war between the pelicans and the catfish.
You would have had, like, Mordor versus, I don't know, the elves, like, and with the... Actually, no, that would look more like Mordor on Mordor there. Things are so ugly, but...
So, one thing we, though, have learned, having now done some boat fishing and done a lot of shoreline fishing...
We need a boat.
We need a boat.
We really do.
We do. We even, I think, have identified the type of boat we need, but, it's kind of a dream. They're kind of expensive if you get them new, and they're
really... No,
they're
not
fairly,
kind of... They're expensive.
And but they're a great boat. And our problem, too, is that we have two...
Sure, $1 million boat.
It's not
for
a million.
I know, but I'm saying if you buy $1 million boat, I hope it's great.
Yeah.
I hope it's everything
I'm not looking
you hope for and more.
Yeah, I'm not looking for the 40-foot invincible catamaran, okay?
I'd love one of those.
That would be fun, though.
Sail around the world.
No. The invincible catamaran is the power boat.
I know, but I want a
you want a
sailing
sailing. You want to be captain of a sailing ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't even have to be the captain, just like the first mate.
Well, and so we're trying to figure out the how to make the boat situation happen, because it's going to have to, because this is, I'm finally, I'm the boat broker who has no boat. And I've always said that's because I know too much. I know what they cost to keep, feed, and maintain. But at this point, it's worth it. We need a boat.
Mucho boat.
Maybe 2 or 3 boats, but we'll see. We gotta have our our bay boat, right? And you gotta have our offshore.
You make
boat.
it sound like we have so much money.
Oh, I know. It's just me dreaming
boats.
here. I'm like, yeah, hey, this is and then we'll have our big yacht that your mom wants. Every time I ask her what she wants in a boat, and she's like, well, I wanted to have a nice big aft deck to entertain on, and we need at least, everyone needs their own bedroom, so that's at least 3 bedrooms and bathrooms, and we need a nice big kitchen to cook in. And
I'm sorry, what is her definition of nice big kitchen? That's not a thing
I
on a
think
boat.
honestly, she wants David Geffen's mega yacht.
She wants like on what's that show? Below Decks. Or
she
whatever.
wants the big,
she wants that kind of
foot,
kitchen.
She
wants the commercial kitchen
60
on board.
or the 60 meter, whatever they are. Something that has to have a crew. You just get on and drink your wine and enjoy your ride.
You know what? I would almost, if we had that much money, I would almost feel bad, like knowing all the work that it takes to run a boat that size.
Those people get paid very well.
Yeah, but like,
I mean, that could be if you really want that lifestyle, though. If you want the boating, yachting lifestyle, you could.
That's not the way I'd do it.
You could get some experience as crew on a yacht.
That's not the way I'd do it.
Okay.
No, I would honestly, I would rather be penniless with a boat than do that. Because like I'm a pretty big introvert. It's like you have to live with these people, and in some cases you've never met them, and it's like, congratulations,
your
nice
roommate.
to meet you.
I'll be in the bunk above you.
Yeah. Like, nice to meet you. See you at morning watch. Like, ugh, I couldn't imagine. And like also you have to get along with them. Like you have to. You live together. You work together 24/7 or 26/8. Like you I couldn't.
Well, okay. They make a lot of money, though, in a season.
Again, I'd rather be penniless and have my own little trashy boat that I go around the Caribbean in.
Well, speaking of trashy boats that go around the Caribbean in, you and your friends have been...
We've been talking
about plans for after high school,
Yeah.
which is still a couple of years away. And you're like, well, guys, why don't we all pool our money and get a big sailboat? We'll go sail around the world for a year.
A couple of us are down for it. When we asked them, a couple of them were like, what?
Yeah, why would I do that?
Like, they're like, yeah, it sounds cool, but we all know that's never going to happen. I'm like, bet.
You want to bet?
What did I hear a challenge?
Well, and I told you how you do it. You'd have to make this a media adventure and, get sponsorships and all this stuff to.
I don't know if I'd want
do
to, though. Like, there
the
is
whole
a
thing
little
up on
bit of
YouTube and.
there is a nice thing of like being completely like free from all that. Like, if I could,
Right, except you know what boats run on?
and that one, wind.
Money. I don't care if it's a
Does
sailboat.
wind cost money?
Well, maintaining the boat costs money. All the things you
Yeah,
got to remember.
so, like, what
it's
I could-
pumps and hoses and wires and
I
electronics
would live
and
a variation of what people used to do. It's
food and
what
water and
sailors would do.
fuel.
Do you know what sailors used to do? Like when sailing ships were still the biggest thing, they would work a ship, and then and they do some Atlantic crossing or something, and then wherever they ended up, if they didn't have a contract to then go back on that boat and go home, they'd get on a boat
On
there.
another ship going somewhere else.
And people still do that. Like,
And
if
there are guys that work in the freighter industry. They crew on those boats, and that's what they do. They go from port to port to port and pick up a different ship in every port.
But what I would do is have my own boat, and I'd go to a port, and I could work for a couple months there, cleaning boats, or I'm talking about like in like a nice area of the Caribbean or something. Work there for a couple months, make up enough money to then go sail off on my own for a few months, and then do it over and over again.
And someday you'll want to settle down and have a wife and kids and.
I don't know if I could settle down. Like, I'm sitting here bouncing my leg, just like thinking about it. Like, it just sounds so awesome to be able to do whatever I want, you know?
Well, yes, it sounds awesome until you realize how difficult it can be without a steady source of income.
You say that like a steady source of income is needed, like it's necessary.
A steady source of income is highly advised. How about that? I'm
Yeah,
giving you fatherly
okay.
advice. You should listen.
This
now.
is the father that if he had his way, I'd get married at like what, 35, and then I'd
25.
live.
Get married in your 20s.
Can I just have my 20s to myself? Like, can I have those 10 years
See,
to
this
do
is-
whatever I want?
This is the problem with you and your generation. You guys want to like play until you're in your 30s.
You know why?
At that point, you go, okay, I guess it's time for us to settle down and
You wanna
have
know
a
why?
family. And you know what? At that point, you're going, I'm too tired to settle down. I'm too
We
tired to
should
have
save
a family.
this for the
The archives.
regular Flamingo family.
Maybe we will.
Because you know why our generation is like that?
Why?
Because y'all in our middle school and high school years care way too much about our grades, so you don't let us play.
What did you do when you got home today?
Because it was a half day and I had no homework, and
What'd
you
you
were
do
like,
yesterday when you got home?
and I had no homework. I'm
What'd you
lucky.
do the day before that when you got home?
Homework.
And then
FLVS.
you have gone fishing every day this week.
No, I haven't. Yesterday and today.
You sure?
Yeah.
Hmm.
If I had my way, I'd go fishing every day. Yesterday, only caught like one little fish, but it was like beautiful out. It was like there was like a time where I felt like I was in a movie. I was like looking over the water, perfect sunset. Like you can hear all the sounds of nature. There's no cars going or anything. You're just like, wow, I'm in a movie.
Okay, but
and
right-
then
Okay, but right now, if we weren't recording this, and if your computer was working, because it is dark outside now, and your computer wasn't broken, what would you be doing?
probably playing Minecraft with my friends.
Right. So you get to play.
That, and you know what? You guys always also complain about us playing video games too much. Guess what?
I'd
We
rather you play outside.
We should save this for a regular Flamingo family episode. We've gone off topic now.
Okay, but it's still. So
That's what we record tomorrow.
So yeah, we're gonna have more adventures to talk about. We're gonna post some of this stuff to YouTube. We're gonna talk about it on the show. More of the playing paintball, fishing. We're talking about doing some cool stuff like
Spearfishing.
learning to. Well, I'm already scuba certified, but Firstborn over here wants to get scuba certified.
I'll tell you that after the podcast.
And then we've got we're talking about going up to a place in Central Florida to learn bladesmithing.
Oh, that would be so cool. Is that the one with the Viking looking guy?
I think so. Yeah, go hammer
There's another one in Sarasota or something that has a dude that looks like a Viking.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
I'll have to check that one out too. But because that Sarasota would certainly be closer.
Yeah, or it's either Sarasota or Bonita Springs or something.
There's no one. No, I looked. There's nobody right around here. Otherwise, we'd be talking to that. No, they're all.
I saw one, and he had like white or blonde hair, and he looked like a Viking.
That would be fun.
It was awesome, and he did like I think it was a 2-day thing. Well, it wasn't the one.
Some more, but we want to do a bladesmithing class, like a.
I love watching Forged in Fire.
Forged in Fire.
My favorite episode was the one where they did the Cutlass, because I love pirates and all that stuff.
Yes, you were born in the wrong century.
I totally was. I if past lives are legit, I think that at one point I was a Viking, a pirate, I think I went from a Viking to
an English sailor.
To an English sailor of some sort, whether that be a pirate or a merchant sailor or something.
Then solidly to a pirate in the golden age of piracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
And now I'm here, and or maybe I went from that to like a dude in the Navy or something. Now I'm here.
So your soul has jumped from one water profession to
one ship to another.
One ship to another. All right. So yeah, well, you're definitely a water kid. I'll give you that.
I mean, I'm wearing a shirt on the back that says "Born on the Water," even though I wasn't. But that's like, I feel like I really was. Sure, we had a lake, but like, I think I really was. Like, all my, like, I guess core memories, have been in Florida, on the beach, on a boat, out fishing, stuff like that in Florida.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, you've spent. You're about half and half now.
Yeah. We moved here when I was 8.
Yeah.
But like before then, it's all kind of a blur. Like, I have memories of that house. I remember loving it. And
the chickens.
And yes. And I remember the rooster that just had it out for me, and I don't know why.
He had it out for everybody.
But especially for me. You guys still don't believe me on this one. I don't know how little I was, but I was over looking at the chickens, and we let them like graze, like we'd let them out of the pen, and they graze. And the rooster wouldn't eat for a little while. He'd like sit there and look, and I just liked going out there and watching him.
He was doing his job. He was keeping an eye out for danger of the flock.
And I come over. I'm just kind of looking around, saying hi to all the chickens. And he and I just like locked eyes for a second, and he just started chasing me. And he chased me from the barn all the way to the house under the landing. And I got in the door, and I look out that window that was at the door, and he's standing there looking at me through the window.
He was very good at giving the stink eye.
And he just hated me for no reason. I was like,
he saw you as a threat.
I was 5. No, so, that and the trampoline.
The trampoline was awesome.
Trampoline. I remember the trampoline. I remember the what was that called? The place that had the gravel stuff, and I jump from the top, and the gravel was just soft enough that I could
that playground that we had.
Yeah. And looking back, it probably wasn't that tall.
It was about. The platform was about 5 feet up.
Well,
maybe.
For me, it felt like I was jumping like 10 feet.
Yeah.
Whereas like now, I bet if I did it, I'd just kind of hop down.
You'd just be like, let me just climb down from here.
Not even climb. Like from that height, I could just walk off and I'd be fine.
Yeah.
But like I'd jump and do a whole like parkour roll and be all awesome.
But you have always been a kid who's been outdoors and to play outside.
I've been fishing since we lived there because we had a lake. And I remember when you first like got me into fishing, I had the Spider-Man
fishing rod.
And that was the one. That was the rod that really got me into fishing. And then we went from that to the blue Zebco.
Oh, the little push button thing. Yeah.
And then from there, I brought that here to Florida, and then finally
got to a
you guys
spinning
were
rod.
like, okay,
Time for a real fishing.
time for him to go full Floridian. And then we got me that red. It was, the rod was black and red, the reel was black and red, and it had red mono. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever that it had red monofilament.
Until the rod snapped in half and the reel bungled up.
Because I caught a fish way too big for it.
Yeah.
And then what did I go to from there?
Well, and since then you've had a couple of star rods and
Well, I've had, from there. No. There was one rod before. No, we got me
rod. We got the star rod that the tip broke on.
Yeah, but since then I haven't had a combo other than that bait caster
Oh yeah, then we got you that
I
good
only
reel.
use for freshwater stuff now that I don't even do anymore.
Yeah.
But now I have a, what is that? Shimano. Is it Shimano? Yeah,
Yeah, the
Shimano
Shimano
Sedona
Sedona.
4000 on a 7-foot star rod.
Yeah.
So kind of an all around, it can do everything around here rod. So, which we recently got restrung.
Finally, you can see the line.
Yeah, it was olive green because, of course, that's what you use when you bass fish. Olive green, that's just the thing. And now that I don't use that rod for bass fishing anymore, I'm like, you know what?
You'd be able to see where
I
my
need to
line
be
is.
able to see where I'm going. Yeah.
And it's important.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to fish as late as I did today because the sun was starting to dip below the houses and couldn't really see anything. And I can't imagine using olive line, especially yesterday. I stayed out until it was dark.
Well, you still had the olive line on it when we went out on the boat.
Yeah.
The fishing tournament.
That's
It was
what really-
your line just disappeared.
Yeah,
It
that was
gone.
because it was the same
Nobody could see
color.
where you would cast.
Yeah, it was the same color as the water. So it's like you'd cast, and not only could you not see the line in the water, but you couldn't see it until it was like right next. Like you could see the first probably 1.5 feet off the rod, and then it just disappears.
Gone.
Yeah.
So you're you're fairly well equipped now.
Oh yeah, I don't have to worry about it now. It's like other than actually
Now
no,
we
that's
just
not
need
true.
a boat. You're well equipped. We just need a boat.
I'm nervous. Okay, so over near there's a couple really big snook.
Oh, over where you've been fishing.
I'm talking 38-inch snook
Wow.
at least.
You could pull that up with that rod.
I could pull it up, but I wouldn't. I'd feel bad pulling a snook up like that.
Well, you
'Cause
want
I
to
don't-
net it.
Yeah, I saw 2 of them today. I saw one that was probably 30, and I saw one that was.
But they don't get that big by being dumb. So,
Dude, I literally put a top water over its head
It's just like,
twice.
whatever.
The first time it just kind of looked at it and was like it literally just kind of turned a little and looked at it like, what is that? And I
that
twitched
big-
it.
I think that big a snook, you need a bigger bait.
I think I need to throw that big old 2.5-inch long popper on there. But it's like I put this top water basically 2 inches from its head and it just looks at it.
That's not
And I
worth the
twitch
effort,
it
says.
and it just looks at it again. And then it starts swimming. So I wait for it to swim far enough away that I can pull it up without scaring it. And I put it in front of it, twitch it right in front of it. And it just swims under it. It
couldn't have cared less.
it didn't care at all. And I was like, what? This is no. That's when I left. I was like, this is dumb. I haven't caught anything in 2 hours, and then when I get the perfect chance, they don't even eat it. I'm done. And I threw a spoon, 2 different top waters, and around here you can't throw anything that's not weedless or is top water because of the amount of.
A lot of
I don't
grass.
even know what that. It's not even grass. It's it's probably some sort of algae. It's weird, but it's submerged algae. It's
It's a grass. It's a type of grass.
yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's the way it's made. It's very flat, so it gets hooked on hooks super easily.
So anyway, so all that to say, more adventures to come.
Yes,
The men at large will be having a good time, doing cool things,
especially
bringing
this
you all
Saturday.
along with
Jeez,
us.
I gotta get a drink.
Got a little frog going, huh? And we're gonna have, we really are gonna
Okay, I'm good now.
live this up and make a good time of it and share those adventures with you all because not everybody gets the joy of living down here where you can have
I wish everyone
these
could.
fun adventures. No, because then 300 million people all in Florida would be
No,
a
but
little too much.
imagine if everywhere was like Florida. That'd be great.
Then where would people vacation?
But that's the point. You wouldn't have to.
Even we like to go other places. I mean, we're going on a 13-state trip this summer.
No. I like vacations to cities because we don't live in like a city, you know?
Thanks for listening to this project from 1C Productions, where thought-provoking media comes alive. Be sure to check out other 1C shows like Frevangelic, in which a married couple discuss their walk out of lifelong evangelicalism and into a new way of being. Their search for truth might open doors for you as well. Learn about Frevangelic and other 1C Productions podcasts at just1c.com. That's JUSTONEC.com.
As part of the Flamingo family here, Firstborn and I, all of our adventures,
we'll shoot each other with paintball guns.
We shoot each other with paintball guns. We are men at large.
Because we're large people.
We are large people.
You know,
and we're men.
Can I say my age? Is that allowed?
You're 15. Yeah, we've said
Yeah,
that. Right now
I'm
you're 15.
15.
You'll be 16 in a couple of months.
I'm probably closing in on, 6'4"? I'm probably 6'3"
we haven't
and
measured
a quarter.
You know, we haven't measured you in 3 days, so you might have grown another inch and a half. But
I was sleeping a lot the last couple of days, so I think that I was
you ate a lot last
it.
week, and you've been sleeping a lot this week, so that means you've grown another inch
I could
and a
feel
half.
the legs a little bit a couple of days ago.
So we are men at large, and we're going to have a lot more fun and a lot more adventures, and
maybe
we're
share
gonna talk
some of
about
the struggles also of being a large person. and
there
what
are
to do.
struggles.
Like, I can't get waiters. You just can't. Like, they don't. It doesn't. No,
Doesn't exist for.
they
this
figure
size.
if you're this tall and you have this big of a foot, that you're huge. That you have like a size 48 waist or something. I'm like, no.
Oh, I have that
No.
problem in pants. They figure with my waist size and that I must have a butt that's
The size of Kansas.
6 feet wide, and so they make all the pants that fit like a tent.
No, but some of that, and I mean, can't get shoes anywhere. I mean,
You're a 14. I'm a
fo-
15.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a 15 yet. I probably will be next year though. So you guys will be the first to know when I'm a size 15.
And we've had to start buying tall size shirts for you.
Mm-hmm. We've actually found that the Vans, what's that called? Classic Fit or something.
One is tall, longer.
Yeah, it's made for skateboarders, which, I mean, I skateboard, but I don't do like a lot of tricks or anything. I just like cruising. So it's fun.
But we'll have that.
Yeah,
We'll have
they're
that as
longer.
a whole discussion unto itself of the challenges. Everyone always tells us.
On the next episode of Men
Men
at
at Large. Yeah. How wonderful it must be to be tall. And it is.
No.
You can
Well-
reach tall objects.
Yeah. People.
Girl, and I'll tell you, you know what? Girl, let's just be honest. Girls love tall guys.
Oh, yeah, they do. They totally admit to it.
And they even admit to it. So that's great. But it comes with its challenges. Bonking your head into things.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
And cars.
But we're going to discuss that on another episode. So thank you guys for listening to us through this whole rambling, ADHD-ridden discussion.
That's my bad.
It's all his fault. And we will be back. Probably the next episode you hear on the Flamingo family will be the whole family. But we'll be back with probably some more side episodes of Men at Large. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Flamingo Family, a 1C production. To learn more about 1C Productions and all of our shows, go to just1c.com. That's JUSTONEC.com.